So I'm here today with Steve Curl. Hi, Steve Curl.
Hello, Caroline. Nice to see you. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm great. We've known each other for many a year. Both of us taught at, well, I used to teach at Pacific Art League, and Steve is one of the stalwarts. He's been, how many years now? Like too many to mention, correct?
Oh boy, I started there in 1991. So
Wow. Holy moly. Okay, good. So very happy to have you and interview you today for I'm really excited as our visiting artist for our upcoming workshop this coming November 10th, Sunday, for
good.
2 hours, where Steve is going to guide us on painting a a full landscape.
Yep. Perfect time of year to do it, right?
Yes. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about your career as a watercolor artist and your and teaching, etc. So, tell us just briefly, like when did you start and where do you?
Oh boy, I've been drawing and painting since I was a kid. Mostly, excuse me, I got started as a cartoonist. I used to do cartoons of my pals, in the neighborhood, and that led to being a cartoonist in my high school newspaper and then my college paper. And so I did what I billed myself as humorous illustration. So I did that for quite some time. I still do that. I still have opportunities to do caricatures and things like that. And then, as a matter of fact, doing them at Google for You recently.
Yeah, well, you just did a wonderful afternoon at Google where you did caricatures of people coming for the Google birthday. It was
Yeah,
great.
it's a great way to express humor and ideas. And then I was the editorial cartoonist for the Palo Alto Daily News for a dozen years until newspapers are just trying to find their footing. They don't have a freelance budget anymore. They're just trying to stay afloat. And aside from that, though, I've always loved watercolor painting, and I'm an avid outdoorsman. I love being outside and
Yeah.
backpacking and hiking, and so watercolor is like the perfect medium. You can take a little 9x6 pad or 5x7 and a little kit of paints, brush or two, and you have a foldable water cup. Dip it right in the stream, and you're good to go.
Hey, that's great. This is a perfect time to just show a few of your paintings that I've got prepped up here, and then have you kind of walk us through them, where you
Sure.
were, how you did it. Like we're interested in your plein air style, although I imagine you also come back in the studio to finish it. But you can tell us about that. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to share.
Mm,
So, Steve, here is some of your paintings. So they're a
yeah.
little bit fuzzy. I know they're not going to be as far because I had to take them off the internet and stuff, but I
Sure.
wanted to just show people. This is probably one of my personal favorites. I think it's
Mm.
absolutely beautiful. This is clearly it must be done in Yosemite, correct?
Yeah, I was actually I have the opportunity every year to teach up there. And I remember this moment. One morning, my classes usually began at 10 a.m. Now they begin earlier up there. We run a longer day. But uh, anyways, I gotten up, made myself some coffee, and had some breakfast, and went out for a walk in Yosemite Valley. In those days, they had a little apartment I stayed in, which was right in the heart of Yosemite Village. And so I went out for a walk down by the Ahwahnee Meadow, and it was morning, and it just stopped me in my tracks because the sun is coming up over the backside of Half Dome in the east. As you can see up on the top of the dome there, it's catching some light, but the whole face of Half Dome was in a deep blue shadow. And then across the valley is the Royal Arches, and they were just you know blasted with the morning sunlight, and it was just such a striking scene. And you're painting when you see it, and so I didn't have time to sit down and actually paint it there, so I just took a bunch of photographs, and then worked up a little sketch a bit later. And then I painted this, and it's a large painting. It's on a full sheet, which is 22 by 30.
Oh, wow.
And it got, I entered it later in the Yosemite Renaissance, and it got accepted there. And then what happened with it finally, it's kind of fortunate, is my neighbor popped over, um, one day just to, we were going to go out and have a beer or a glass of wine or something. And he said he saw this painting. I had it finished and framed up, sitting in my studio here. And he said, wow. He says, I really like that. He says, in fact, I would like to buy it from you. And
Good
he
for you.
bought it for his wife, for an anniversary or some.
Oh, I mean, it's a superb painting.
Boy, and it's what I can go see it anytime I want, because it
Yeah,
lives across the street and it hangs on their living room wall. It's sadly he's since passed, but his wife Jan is a friend of mine, and so she has that proudly displayed in her living room. So I'm
that's
happy with
awesome. Well,
that.
here's another couple from Yosemite, I think.
Sure.
So I love the trees in front here and the on the left. I love the coloring. And then here we've got the river. So again, they're very kind of blurry, but I'm sure the original. So similar process there. You went, you loved it, you took some shots, came home, or
Actually, these two are smaller paintings, and these were done. I teach a week-long class in Yosemite. Sometimes I'll teach 2 weeks in a row up there at the Yosemite Art and Education Center, uh, which is down at Happy Isles, where the Merced River comes down from Vernal Falls and Nevada Falls. And these were part of that class, where the objective of the class is it's a 3-4 hour class every day of the week. And in the mornings, I always have to be prepared for, people that join the class who are rank beginners. And so we'll spend, an hour in the morning just getting them familiar with the supplies. But the whole objective of the class, and it's through the Yosemite Conservancy, is to go outside and paint on location. So
you
these are done on location. The one on the left, it's right there at the bridge over the Merced at Happy Isles, and it's a view up. It's down the river, but up towards North Dome and Basket Domes.
and how long would it have taken you to do a painting like that?
I'd say this one probably took me, I'd say a couple hours.
Okay, so now I love this one too,
Mhm.
Steve. I love this painting here. Is this also Yosemite? It looks like the Half Dome.
Yeah, this was, I was coming back from a backpacking trip where you can see Half Dome over there up in the top right. And I had a buddy of mine and I hiked up to Cloud's Rest, which gives you an amazing view of Yosemite Valley looking westward from the east. Most people see Half Dome from the east looking, or the west looking east. And in this case, we were looking from the east to the west. Anyway, we finished the trip and we were coming back in the evening. And this is a place along the Tioga Road called Olmsted Point. And it's a place you can park your car and get out and take a look. People stop all the time while they're crossing the Tioga Road. Anyway, it was sunset and we just hit it at that time. And it was like, it was arresting. We just stopped the car. We got out. Obviously, I didn't have time to set up and paint right then and there, because it was that sunset lasted all of about, that glow lasted all of about 5 minutes. And so I
Wow.
just snapped off a bunch of pictures, but the same thing I said, I knew that was going to be a painting. And so, I did. It was a large painting also, 22 by 30, and that one sold as well.
I'm not surprised. So, Steve, tell me about these two.
Okay, well, the one on the left is in 2023, April of 2023, myself and some old pals from college rafted the Grand Canyon. And one of my college colleagues, he and his wife said, "We really like your work. We would love to commission you to do watercolor painting of a scene on the Grand Canyon of your choosing. And so I just remember we rounded this bend and the lighting was spectacular of being down in the canyon. So I chose this picture and then I got them to corroborate it and did this painting and they are delighted with it.
Oh, that's gorgeous. And then on the right,
On the right was I was in 2018, February of 2018, I was the artist in residence at Zion National Park. And so I was in Zion for the month. And this painting in particular, I took a day trip up to Bryce Canyon. You know, that country in Utah is spectacular. And I took a hike on this day down into the Bryce Canyon, and these are the hoodoos of Bryce Canyon. I think this is called Queen's Garden. I just remember coming around the bend on a trail, and you know, the blue of the sky, the red of the rock, the white of the
ah,
snow, it just
unbelievable.
bam, you know, and you see these incredible, you know, you feel like you're on another planet. So of course, this became a painting as well.
That's great. So I'm going to stop the share here. Steve, these were such beautiful paintings. Now, of course, we're not going to be doing anything quite as complex as that. But I wanted to introduce everybody to your work. Uh,
Mhm.
so we're going to be selecting a full image and sending that out to everybody. Steve, I'd like you, we'll be doing that together and sending it out
Sure.
to everyone. And then telling you, I think we've got some instructions when you sign up there. You get a little email that gives you instructions on things to have, and that includes the Cotman series. Or what was it, Daniel?
Daniel Smith, you know, there's I can send you some recommendations of
Okay, great. And then I'll include it when I send it out. When you sign up, you'll get this. So you can then sign up for the class. It's going to be a busy class.
okay.
We cut off after about 20 people to give everyone a chance to interact with Steve on the painting. It doesn't matter if you're new. Steve is extremely experienced at being able to bring new people in and show you some basic strokes and basic approaches to it. So if you want to learn watercolor, then, we want to introduce you to this. And we're sort of hoping that all going well in the new year, we'll be able to book Steve for, an actual watercolor class, a series of classes online, so that you can continue to learn from him because he's a master. And, after my own heart, I must say, Steve, what we call a working artist, like, we teach and we do art. And some of the great artists have done that, like Paul Klee, Vasily Kandinsky, were, artist. Like you have to have a passion for teaching as well as a passion for painting, and you have both. So we're really excited to have you there. So everybody, go to the website, sign up for Steve right now, and I will put a little card at the end so that you know where to go. And we'll see you on November the 10th.
That
And
sounds
have a
great.
lovely fall painting ready to give to somebody at Thanksgiving or as a gift to Christmas or make it into a card, whatever you want. But we'll have a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Steve.
Well, thanks for calling. It's great to get involved in this, and yeah, we'll have a fun time.
So go to our website to register at www.thejoyofdrawing.org/shop. And there you will see on the top left the image to click, which will allow you to register. And as soon as you do so, we will send you a confirmation email along with your Zoom link and a list of the materials you'll need in order to prepare for class. And then we will send you all the images later in an email. And we look forward to seeing you there.